Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about The Few and the Cursed Shadow Nation. So, for anyone that has been following along, I very much liked the sort of original Few and the Cursed. There's the Crows of Manara. God, I'm so bad with names. After that, I decided to get the sort of follow-up novel. Oh god, I can't remember what you're called now. It's bad, isn't it? Well, my memory's that bad. Heart-Shaped Ambition, which was the Pirate Avenger, which was a lot of fun. Now, I had known about Shadow Nation since the first one, The Crows, and I never got around to getting it on Kickstarter or anything like that. But I put it onto an add-on with Heart-Shaped Ambition, thinking I will get around to reading it because I really do want to know more about this universe because I was really intrigued. And I read it, and I have mixed feelings, to be completely honest with you. I love these characters, I really do. I think all of the characters so far are completely different in every single aspect. And this particular book, Shadow Nation, follows a postal worker called Laverne, who is actually mute. And this is set in I want to say 1800s, 1840. So it's been, I think it's around half a decade or so, half a century since the water started to dry up. So the waters have pretty much dried up. This is their currency. This is how they pay for things. And Laverne is a postwoman who gets letters from sort of the mainland up to the front lines to the soldiers. And she's carrying a very important letter. That's pretty much all that we know. There is something really important about the letter that she's got. She meets a grumpy old man who tells her that she is basically not ready for everything that's out there. That all of these sort of supernatural creatures will devour her alive, and she definitely needs help of someone more weathered in the situation. So their relationship starts off a bit rocky. It never really gets any better, and that's kind of the fun of it, like the bouncing off each other. He doesn't particularly like her, she doesn't particularly like him, but they both really respect each other. So I really love that kind of buddy cop aspect of it. They do meet a couple of people and they go through things as the book goes on. But I really do love this character, Laverne, despite the fact that she cannot talk. There's so much emotion in that character. It's just incredible. And that goes out to Philippe Cagneau. He has written this character just beautifully. And I will say that the art by Rui Silveira starts off incredible. It really does. I'm not going to show you the art. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It starts off incredible, and as it goes on, it does then start to get a bit more simplistic, which is a bit of a shame because I like art to be consistent throughout. But it wasn't enough to completely take me out of the book. So, back to the writing, though. I will say this has strengths and weaknesses, but I do think out of the three books, this is probably the weakest of the three so far. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It is very good. But when you have products of such a high quality, even something slightly below that high quality, it means these two dwarf it, essentially. I think a good way to explain this is I love the Marvel Netflix TV series. I think Daredevil is just fantastic. Jessica Jones Series 1 is flawless. And Luke Cage I really enjoyed. You get to Iron Fist. It's still a good show, but compared to the others, it's not as good. It's still really good, though, compared to a lot of the other stuff out there. And that's kind of how I feel the same about this. It is an incredibly well-written book, for the most part. The characters are fantastic. The art's great. The action, it is few and far between, but it's so good when it's done. It's just fantastic. It's just, it keeps you on your edge because you're not too sure what's going to happen, or like what is around the corner, what kind of monsters, what kind of supernatural thing is around the corner. In a series like this where literally anything can happen, you are on your edge thinking, oh god, what's coming for these characters. And I think that's partially part of its downfall. It takes such an enormous amount of time to set up the characters and set up the world that it ends very, very quickly. And I'm not going to spoil the ending at all, but it's slightly disappointing. And in that respect, I think the writing is not as good as these two. Going to be completely honest. It's such a fast ending that it feels slightly anticlimactic. They go from a place to another place, done. And you think, okay, that was quick. It doesn't seem to be any kind of resolution to finish it, and I think that's the most disappointing thing. You have to start with an equilibrium, the inciting incident. You've got the crisis point when things are looking so bad for everyone, and then to finish it off you have equilibrium again. It doesn't have to be the same equilibrium as it was in the beginning, but there has to be some kind of balance. And for me, there doesn't feel a balance within this within this ending. And I think potentially there could be a sequel, there could be some sort of a follow-on from this to produce that equilibrium, because it doesn't feel finished. So I think that's the most disappointing thing about this book. Because like I said, from Philippe's work, so he wrote that one, I think he oversaw that one. He seems like a very, very he's a very talented writer. So I'm not too sure what happened with this one, whether he ran out of pages, this is a self-published thing, has he only got a limited amount of pages to be able to tell a story and thought, oh no, I've got to rush this. Or is it something that he wasn't too sure how to end it? Either way, it's not as fitting an ending as either of those, which is a shame. And in regards to the packaging, why I'm not going to show you things, that's another thing that me as a collector, I love having hardbacks, I love having collector's editions. Take out my, there it is. Take out the bookmark. Now, when this first turned up, I noticed as I was reading it, I got to, about 3/4 of the way through, and I hate this about paperbacks. When they spread open like that, like the spine has broken, and that's pretty much what's happened. And as I got to the end, the whole inside just fell out. There we go again. There it goes again. So that is very disappointing to me, and I definitely want to try and get this fixed, because that I can't look at that. I really can't. That hurts me. It really does. So, in terms of the packaging, this is why I much prefer having hardbacks, because you don't get that sort of problem with a hardback book. But that's definitely a me problem. But if you guys have read any of The Few and the Cursed, or if you've pledged towards the board game, or even the art, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because it really does help me out. And I'll see you all in the next video.